Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Tank's Treasure Box, hosted by yours truly, Tank Jones. And today, my guest, as you can see, we're in the studio right now. My guest I met many, many years ago when he had blonde hair. And ladies and gentlemen, this man is responsible for putting me on some of the biggest shows that I ever performed at, actually. He's a myth, he's a legend, but I really, really like, he's highly opinionated, but he gets paid to do that. In anything radio, this is your guy that you talk to. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Bruce St. James.
It's great to be here. It's great to see you as well.
Appreciate it, man. So how you been, brother?
I've been doing really well. As you see now, I work at KTAR. I think we get that in there.
Right.
9 to noon, Monday through Friday, and I get to spout off on whatever the heck I want to talk about.
And you definitely do that.
I most certainly do.
I listen to your show.
Good.
I like it.
I appreciate that.
I'm a fan.
I appreciate that.
So, okay, Bruce, so we have an informal, formal line of questioning.
Okay.
So we'll just hop right into it.
Do it.
Where you grow up, brother?
I split my growing up. It's always one of those difficult questions. I moved in the 6th grade. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, when people say you grow up, I go, well, that grow up or this grow up? I grew up as a kid in McLean, Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia, and moved to Tucson in the 6th grade, and I went to high school and the University of Arizona.
Tucson.
Yeah.
A Wildcat. Well, I'm a Sun Devil. I let it slide. I let it slide. Tell me if I were in the classroom with Bruce and you pick it, whether it was in elementary, middle school, or high school, what kind of student would I have been looking at? Give me a Bruce story. Man.
I got to tell you, I may have had a problem socializing a little too much in class. I tended to like to talk a little bit.
I have no idea how that's even possible.
I got to tell you, I went back to my high school, Santa Rita in Tucson, years ago on like a career day. Okay. And I went and talked in my English teacher's class. I remember Miss Beechler's class. And I got to say in front of the classroom, I said, I still have it somewhere on one of my report cards. Miss Beechler said, you're never going to get anywhere with all this talking, Bruce. And I'm here to tell you, actually, the talking worked out for me.
Teach. If you're watching this, he's doing okay for himself.
Okay, Miss Beechler. I'm doing okay. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to think I'm reasonably intelligent. I like history. I like reading. I like learning. Don't get me wrong. I like it, but I needed to be engaged. I think I'm one of those people that when you just had a teacher that droned on or everything was booked, I lose attention way too quickly. Right. I really connected with some teachers, and that's why I'm one of those people who really knows there's a difference between good teachers and bad teachers, because good teachers lit me up.
And speaking of that, okay, so can you give me one? Can you give me one teacher that would you say made a nice impact on Bruce St. James?
Right, I had a great chemistry teacher, Mr. O'Donnell. I ended up taking regular I didn't care about chemistry. Let's get that out of the way. I liked Mr. O'Donnell. I took chemistry, I took the AP chemistry, and then I was his aide. I had him 3 years out of 4 years in high school.
Wow.
And I learned more about life than I learned from chemistry from him. He's one of those guys. And spending time with him in his classroom, and then as his aide, during his off period, just helping him and doing things around the classroom, he just was a really important person to me. And it was a real relationship, where he was really a friend. He was more than just a teacher to me. And I really appreciated it.
Maybe like your first mentor.
Yeah, you certainly would look at something like that. And he really... he helped me through high school, because high school can be a difficult time for a lot of people. It can be a difficult time, no matter how cool you think you are.
I was homecoming king, so...
See, I would know nothing about that. I would know nothing about homecoming king. I wasn't even allowed in the same room, I think, as homecoming king. And so he really helped me navigate through that, and it was a really good person for me.
Nice, man. Okay, so let's flash forward a little bit.
All right.
How did you get into radio?
It's going to be one of those stories like, come on, you can't be real. I'm a freshman at the University of Arizona.
Okay.
I'm at home and I'm studying, okay? Which wasn't often to begin with.
I was going to say, he's lying.
Wasn't very often to begin with. And I had the radio on. Okay. I was listening to a radio station. You have it in the background, right? And they were doing a contest. Caller number 13 right now wins whatever.
Okay.
I got the phone right there. I call. Caller number 13 and a winner. Right here. This guy.
13.
Caller number 13 and a winner.
Okay.
So I'm talking to the DJ on the air, and he records me. And he says, you got a lot of energy. You seem kind of funny. He goes, I got a problem right now in the station. The engineers are here working. Our microphone is dead. He goes, microphone doesn't work. And he goes, the only thing I can do is I can record people on the phone. I can play the phone over the air, but I can't go on the air with a microphone.
Okay.
So if I tell you what to say, will you say it and make it? He made it like a thing, like you took over the radio station, and we don't know where Todd is. I remember his name.
Okay.
And so I, for about an hour and a half, while the engineers worked in the studio, I DJ'd on the station, and he would tell me what to say, and I'm scribbling it down, and I would say, okay, we do that, and I would do the little breaks.
Way.
He invited me down to the radio station, said, you did a great job, come on down, I'll give you a tour. I ended up answering his phones, doing the request lines, and then, how about this? My very first air shift was the night of our staff Christmas party. It was at the owner's house. There was a lot of alcohol involved, and I don't drink.
Okay.
I've never had alcohol
Yes,
in my
I've
life.
heard you say this.
Never had alcohol in my life. So I was the only one who wasn't drunk. And somebody had to go on the air at 1 a.m.
Wow.
So they sent me down to the radio station at 1 a.m. to relieve the poor person that was there. I'd never been on the air in my life. I didn't know how it worked. They didn't care. They said, just go and have fun. It doesn't matter. And that's how I went on the air the first time. And I've been doing radio ever since.
Dude, that's freaking awesome.
And that
man.
crazy story, I was 17 years old.
Nice. Well, so
Yeah.
you were basically I don't even know how to say it, serendipity, something.
Dumb luck.
Right.
I didn't grow up with a dream to be on the radio. I admit that. I fell into it, but once I started doing it, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I liked being on the air, and then I transitioned a little later.
Okay, so that's how you got into radio. You also are a little bit of a racing connoisseur as well.
It depends on who's asking. I tell them I either work on the radio or I drive race cars.
Okay.
I think girls are more impressed with race cars, but
I agree.
I race cars on the weekends, and that's a hobby of mine.
Nice, man.
Yeah, it's loads of fun.
Okay, so let's tell it, if you wouldn't mind, tell us something, and you talk all the time.
I do.
So I'm sure there's not really many stories you haven't shared.
Oh boy.
But give me something. Share something, whether it's a story to maybe motivate, inspire, what made Bruce St. James Bruce St. James, or something you like to leave the audience with.
Whenever I talk about radio or what I do and working with people, I learned a really great thing from a boss of mine, an old boss of mine named Rick.
Okay.
And I was struggling. I was the manager of a radio station. I was having trouble with an employee. All right. And Rick told me two things. He said, number one, nobody wakes up in the morning and goes into work hoping to tick off their boss. He goes, okay, they didn't do it on purpose. You need to first get that in your head.
Okay.
There's a miscommunication. Your expectations aren't meeting with their expectations. You need to get that clear because they didn't wake up going, I can't wait to go in and get the boss angry. People just don't do that.
Right.
And he said, and second, attack the problem, not the person. Attack the problem, not the person. And those things served me really well. And so when I would have problems with people, I'd bring them in and go, obviously we're not on the same page because I don't think you woke up this morning wanting to upset me.
Dude, that's...
And I thought those were really good words of wisdom. And I've tried to use them.
That's great.
Those are solid, aren't they?
Yeah,
Rick's a smart dude.
I think I met Rick, too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, brother, it's been a lot of fun talking with you, catching up with you. You look great.
Oh, you're very kind. Thank you.
The last time I saw this man,
I lost a little bit of weight.
Yeah, he's lost a little bit of
About
weight.
70 pounds.
What?
Yeah, about 70.
I'm just kidding. So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes another episode of Treasure Box. Bruce, really quick, where can the people find you? And I know you do the radio show, so one more time, just repeat.
Yeah, we're on the air Monday through Friday, 9 to noon on 92.3. Used to be Power 92.
Right.
Funny how it comes back around. I used to run Power.
Yep.
Now I'm on 92.3, KTAR.com, and I'm on every social media known to man. I'm everywhere.
Under what?
Bruce St. James.
Nice.
Bruce, find me.
You're going to go ahead. Let's shake on this, brother. I appreciate that interview. Great advice. Guys, that's it for today. Bruce St. James, check him out. And remember, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Talk to you soon.